Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you for having me here. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Christopher Martin. I want to go ahead and talk about Armageddon. No, I'm just kidding. Not Armageddon. I want to talk about the beginning of the end as we know it, though. More specifically, the coronavirus, or COVID 19 for short. I want to talk about how it's spreading, it's affecting everyone, how it's changing civilization as we know it. We no longer are allowed just to go out and do whatever we want. Hopefully, you're all practicing social distancing. You know I am. And I want to get more in depth. What do we need to do to limit and slow down the process of this virus? And it does take everyone to do this. This is a whole team effort here. But let me go further in depth. I want to go ahead and cover three main areas here. Starting with the most obvious of all, the virus itself. What is it? How is it having an impact on us? What is our society's response to the situation that we have? So let's get down to it. Who remembers the toilet paper of 2020? Remember everyone running in there, grabbing all the toilet paper like it's going to save you from the virus itself. Obviously, it's not going to save you, but what are you going to do? But hey, one day you're going to have grandkids. Make sure to tell them you survived the toilet paper shortage. But on a serious note, let's get back to the virus. The virus, coronavirus here, is a respiratory virus. It affects the lungs, causes us to have a lot of breathing complications. Now that means a lot of times for severe patients, it ends up ending people in the hospital and being on ventilators, which is the whole goal, what we're trying to avoid for all of us. Sorry if you see my child running away, going back and forth. We're practicing social distancing. Apparently she doesn't quite understand that yet. I'm working on it. But some of those symptoms of the COVID-19 are very similar to the flu, where you get fevers, coughs, tiredness, and there's probably still more. We're still learning more about the COVID-19, but some of these are main ones. But the big concern one we're talking about is the complication when it comes to breathing and severe breathing. And this is where we get into talking about how you get stuck on a respirator, and it has a tendency to affect a lot of the older generation, the elderly. So please, whatever you do, avoid going to nursing homes or anywhere the elderly are. We want to keep them alive here. We care about our grandparents, our parents, etc. But the other condition that I don't think a lot of people think about are individuals that already have a pre-existing condition, such as heart complications, lungs, cancer patients for one, and obviously anybody with an autoimmune deficiency. Severe, please try to protect these people. But mind you, they're not the only ones affected by this. Everyone is affected by this. But just how affected we are? Well, the impact that it's having is, when have you heard of March Madness and not have a basketball tournament going on? Never happened. Also, I'm sure plenty of you remember a certain Utah Jazz player was joking around with reporters one game about, coronavirus is over, hype, nothing serious. And lo and behold, 2 days later, he tested positive. And ultimately shut down the NBA. The Major League Baseball has pushed back its opening day. Hockey's been canceled. And just recently I heard that the Olympics in Tokyo have just been switched for next year. So the severity is not just here in the United States, but globally. But also, let's not forget the closures we're dealing with. And this is what's really hard for parents these days, is because you have to go ahead and deal with school closures. Obviously, church, concerts, and other stuff such as that are impactful. But at the same time, we have to all basically start homeschooling, which is something new for all of us. Again, I apologize if you see my daughter walking back and forth. We're still teaching her, I promise. We'll get there. Scoot. But at the same time, though, as you can see, we're going to have to teach our children at home, and this is life-altering to many. And then, obviously, it's serious once you know the churches are closed down. So let's keep practicing social distancing. Eventually, we're going to get past this virus. But my biggest thing that I really want to cover here is the doctors, the nurses, the medical services being provided. All right, priest, out of the way, sweetie, out of the way. The biggest situation we got is how can we handle the volume of people? The amount of people being affected increase every day. The death tolls continue to increase. And we've barely tapped the understanding of how impactful this is. Are we going to have enough personnel, enough medical equipment to support the doctors and nurses taking care of everyone? And what happens when the volumes get so big, we don't have enough equipment, we can't take care of our doctors and nurses with proper PPE? It could come down to literally people deciding if that person will live or if that person will die. And that is an area we do not want to go. So we do have to make some serious changes. So when I say the end of the world, it's definitely the end as we know it. But what about society? How is society reacting to this? Well, everyone knows about the panic buyers because, hey, you go to the grocery store now and, hey, look, you can't find toilet paper. You can't find paper towels, Lysol wipes. People are randomly trying to sell them online for absurd amounts. It's ridiculous. This should not happen. As a society, we need to work together and not go ahead and destroy the stores, take everything we got. And then what about the elderly and the low autoimmune deficiency individuals? They can't even go ahead and out there and shop because they have to practice social distancing at the same time. They get sick, chances are more than likely they're not going to make it. But that's the panic buyers. Let's go to the other extreme here. And the younger generation seems to be the most because they aren't as affected as much. So let's go ahead and listen just a little bit what they think. Well, apparently my video does not want to work today. But we all know about the spring breakers going ahead and having their fun and enjoyment.
I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. You know, I've been waiting. We've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. So we're just out here having a good time. Whatever happens, happens.
Like, it's really messing up with my spring break. What is there to do here other than go to the bars or the beach, and they're closing all of it? It's really messing up. I think they're blowing it way out of proportion. I think it's doing way too much.
Doing us bad. We need a refund. This virus ain't that serious. It's serious. There's more serious things out there like hunger and poverty. We need to address that.
Yeah, I mean, we planned this a long time ago, and it was kind of up in the air if we still go, but, like, we're here. I just turned 21 this year, so I'm here to party, so it's kind of disappointing, but we're just making the most of it. We met these other people in our little Airbnb spot, so we're just hanging out with them and trying to get drunk before everything closes.
I mean, it sucks, but we're going to make the best of it. We're enjoying ourselves. It sucks, and I'm from New Orleans, so this really sucks. However, we're going to enjoy ourselves. We having day parties all day. It's my birthday, St. Patrick's Day.
We're just trying to roll with we're just living for the moment. We're just going to do what happens when it happens. When stuff closes, we're going to do it when it closes. But besides that, we're just trying to have the best trip we can.
Sorry about the little complication there, but as you can see, a lot of those spring breakers are enjoying their time off, not taking it quite as serious. As my little one, as you can see, not taking it quite seriously. Please stay over there, sweetie. But the social, I mean, obviously you understand the social impact, but this is a global impact. This affects everyone. Probably the safest place right now is either the North or South Pole. And obviously no one's living there, so not really much of a choice. So as a society, we need to come together and pay attention to what we're doing. Wash our hands, hygiene, clean ourselves, practice social distancing, avoid interacting with people, and if we have it, self-quarantine ourselves. Oh, now my video wants to play, huh? Sorry about that. But we all understand the importance. This is why the society is going to change. We have to prepare for whatever next virus comes around, because it could be deadlier. We don't know what the future holds. But what we do know is that we need to make some changes, and we need to make some changes now. But what I want to do is I want to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite movies. And I'm sure a lot of you remember Heath Ledger when he played the Joker in The Dark Knight. And this quote, just want you to listen to. See, they're mortals. They're code. It's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. Thank you, Heath Ledger. But what he's stating there is, when there's trouble and people don't know what to do, they become animals. Now let's hope that we're not like that. And I don't want to say that we're all bad people. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of people. Look at the medical service. They are going out of their way. Don't forget the food service, making sure we have food and groceries to keep us going. And my daughter getting the medicine she needs. There are a lot of good people out there. The problem is, how long are they going to be able to keep helping support society? What can we do as individuals to help the world? I would like you all, if you get a chance, just take some time. Look on Facebook. Look on the news. Pay attention. Don't take everything in context, because there is some fake news. There's stuff we don't know about. But just try to go out and learn and practice social distancing. And let's take care of each other. Thank you, and have a good day.